Maria Molina there. Retail sales, meanwhile, rising in the month of August. And, of course, the weather has a big influence on this as well. Now, the number in August matched the expectation of a gain of 0.6%. That is the biggest jump in 5 months. July and June also revised upward as well. I'm joined right now by Jharonne Martis. She is Director of Consumer Research at Thomson Reuters. Jason Pride, Todd Schoenberger also with me. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us, Jharonne.
Good to be here, Maria.
How would you characterize the retail sales number?
Well, they were really good, and gas prices has been on the decline. Personal income has been on the rise, which means more money in consumers' pockets. They're also feeling better about extending themselves. It's back to school season, and we saw that the consumer was using the plastic to expend their funding, which means that consumer sentiment is improving, definitely.
So the back-to-school season was pretty good, you think?
Definitely, it was really good. But when you look in general where consumers are spending, it's very evident that they are spending in items that they believe will increase the value of their wealth. They already bought their houses, and now they're buying cars. And the strength in the home sales has definitely been an improvement for the home furnishing and the home improvement sectors. Those are expected to continue to do well.
You know, it's interesting. These numbers look pretty good, 0.6%. And then when you look at all these other polls about how people feel, they don't feel like, they feel like we're still in recession. They feel like they're not in a good jobs market as bad as it was in 2008. What's the disconnect?
Stock market is up. People feel a little bit wealthier. They get their 401k statements. They feel, okay, this is something I can do. The big problem, though, the underlying problem, is this debt to income ratio. You actually have Americans right now that are taking on more debt than what they're making, and we haven't seen that rise since before the economic implosion. So what that means is down the line, you have all these people taking on all this extra debt just to cover their overhead costs. How much are they actually going to be able to spend? It's great they had a great back-to-school shopping season. Holidays might be the disconnect.
We knew we were going to get a jump back after July, which was very anemic. Isn't that right, Jason?
Well, I mean, I think you have to recognize that the economy, whether people say in a survey that they think it's as good as it used to be in 2008 or whatever you're looking at in terms of how they feel, that's a little bit different from how they act and how they spend their money. You know, investors and consumers can have enough money and can have a growing income base and an ability to spend that's coming about and moving in a positive direction, yet still feel like they're really not getting what they deserve. And I think that's what's kind of underlying a lot of these surveys is maybe it's not back to the heady days that we saw in 2007, 2008. But it is getting better, and it's getting better in a very incremental manner.
It's definitely getting better.
You
have to view it that way.
Well, and also keep in mind, I mean, Maria Molina just talking about the weather. We're expecting this brutally cold winter this year. You got to heat your home, with the shelter, the heating oil, everything else. How much money is going to be left there to go out and spend at these stores? So, again, the retailers are going to be very vulnerable this holiday shopping season, especially if we are going to have this brutally cold winter.
What's the next catalyst that you look at, Jharonne, in terms of sort of giving you the next gauge of health in the sector? The retail stocks, for a while, they were being sold. They did sort of come back a bit last couple of months, but...
Well, there's two bits of information. When we look at the forecast for the holiday season, it's very evident we're looking at an impressive double-digit growth, 15% growth for earnings in the S&P 500 for consumer discretionary. So analysts and economists do believe that things will improve for the consumer. However, having said that, the number one threat for consumer spending is the employment number. That's the one number they understand very well. And if they do feel that that number will deteriorate, they're going to put their hands in their pockets and hold back on spending.
But so far, the unemployment numbers have been showing improvement. What do we do? 200,000 or so on average a month.
And that's a pretty decent clip. It's not the highest number, not the 250 that we'd really like to see for a nice, strong, healthy, really healthy economy. But it is a decent enough number that it pulls people out of the unemployment line and pulls people back into the workforce and brings the average income up so that they can drive their spending higher at that incremental pace.
But still not the high-income variety jobs that we really want. And those jobs, that's what you're going to need for those big durable goods numbers to really increase, housing, obviously, and everything else that's expensive.
Let me switch gears. I'm just getting this email. Alibaba said to plan closing books early after IPO covered. I know the IPO of Alibaba is really what everybody's talking about. What do you think about that they're going to try to close I know they want an orderly, obviously, opening. They're going to close early.
Indications of interest are so high on this one, Maria. I mean, I think they have to do this. They're just trying to set expectations. It just makes sense. I mean, they have so much that's at stake right now. This is not just a regional story. It's a global story. Plus, obviously, with Yahoo's investment, there's a lot to
Would
deal
you
with.
buy it? Are you going to buy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding?
I'm going to buy it. You going to buy it?
It's not on our radar at this point in time.
All right, we will leave it there. Jharonne, good to have you on the program.
Good to be
Thanks
here.
for your
Thank
assessment on retail sales. Jharonne Martis joining us.